You're driving home after a long day, lights are low, and traffic is light. Suddenly, flashing red and blue lights appear in your rearview mirror. Your heart races as you realize you're being pulled over. Most people panic in this moment, saying the wrong thing, moving the wrong way, or reaching for documents too quickly. But according to legal experts, just one wrong move during a traffic stop can drastically escalate the situation, sometimes even leading to an arrest. Here's the question for you. What do you think is the single biggest mistake people make during a traffic stop that cops notice instantly? Comment below with your guess. According to official traffic stop statistics and police manuals, officers are trained to observe behavior, tone, and compliance. They look for cues such as sudden movements, reaching under seats, avoiding eye contact, or volunteering extra information about alcohol or illegal activity. Even when a driver has done nothing wrong, these mistakes can trigger additional scrutiny, including field sobriety tests or a call for backup. Public records show that minor traffic violations, a broken taillight, expired registration, or a lane change often lead to stops that escalate unnecessarily because of simple missteps by the driver. Legal analysts emphasize that understanding what not to do is as critical as knowing your rights during these encounters. Real-world incident example. A driver was pulled over for a malfunctioning brake light in a suburban neighborhood. The officer asked for license and registration. Instead of calmly responding, the driver began explaining why the light was broken and volunteered information about their recent alcohol consumption at a party. According to court records and DUI defense manuals, this unnecessary explanation contributed to the officer requesting a field sobriety test, even though there were no signs of impairment. Suspense question for viewers. Do you think the stop could have ended peacefully if the driver had stayed silent and followed procedure? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Legal insight. During traffic stops, drivers are protected under the Fourth Amendment, which guards against unlawful searches and seizures, and the Fifth Amendment, which protects against self-incrimination. Exercising your rights respectfully and knowing what not to do can prevent unnecessary escalation. One interpretation is that staying calm, keeping your hands visible, and answering only what is legally required keeps the stop routine. Another perspective raised in court is that officers have discretion, and unnecessary explanations or defensive behavior may influence their decision to escalate. This is for informational purposes and not legal advice. Once the flashing lights appear, panic sets in for many drivers. According to verified traffic stop manuals, the first 30 seconds often determine whether the stop remains routine or escalates. Mistake number 1. Reaching without warning. Many drivers instinctively reach for their license, registration, or insurance without announcing their actions. Officers are trained to view sudden movements as potential threats. Legal analysts emphasize, always keep your hands visible and inform the officer before moving. Scenario example. A driver pulled over for speeding, immediately reached under the seat for registration. The officer interpreted this movement as suspicious, and the stop escalated. Field sobriety tests were requested unnecessarily, even though the driver was sober. Suspense. Question. Have you ever realized that one small movement could completely change the course of a traffic stop? Comment below with your thoughts. Mistake number 2. Over-explaining or volunteering information. Many drivers try to justify minor infractions. I wasn't speeding, officer, I was just passing the car ahead. While it may feel natural, volunteering explanations can backfire. Officers are trained to focus on observations, not excuses. Scenario example. During a brake light stop, a driver began explaining why the light wasn't working and mentioned having a few drinks earlier. Even though there was no impairment, the officer requested additional testing. Legal precedent shows that unnecessary verbal explanations can create probable cause where none exists. Suspense. Question. Do you think staying quiet could have prevented the officer from escalating? Comment what you would do. Mistake number 3. Defensive or aggressive behavior. Raising your voice, arguing, or rolling your eyes may seem like minor reactions, but officers are trained to detect aggression or non-compliance. Studies show these behaviors increase the likelihood of arrest or citation, even in minor stops. Scenario example. A driver argued about a lane violation, insisting the officer was wrong. The officer requested a more detailed check and backup. Calm, respectful responses, on the other hand, reduce escalation. Mistake number 4. ignoring officer instructions. Whether it's step out of the vehicle or place your hands on the wheel, not following instructions immediately is one of the fastest ways to escalate a stop. Even if you feel the instruction is unnecessary, you can comply politely and then ask questions. Scenario. Example. A driver hesitated when asked to step out for a routine check. The officer interpreted hesitation as non-compliance, prolonging the stop and increasing the chance of additional tests. Have you ever felt unsure about an officer's request? Do you think hesitation could cause trouble, even if you've done nothing wrong? Share in the comments. Mistake number 5. Talking about alcohol or drugs. Even a casual comment about drinking hours ago can trigger a field sobriety test or chemical testing. Lawyers emphasize that you are not required to volunteer this information unless explicitly asked, and even then, you can politely assert your rights. Scenario example. A driver said, "I had a couple of beers earlier," thinking it wouldn't matter. The officer requested a breathalyzer, which could have been avoided. Public records confirm that early verbal restraint prevents unnecessary testing in many traffic stops. Legal analysis, Fourth Amendment, protects against unreasonable searches. Excessive movement, aggression, or volunteering information can create perceived probable cause, affecting the officer's judgment. Fifth Amendment protects against self-incrimination. You are allowed to stay silent regarding potential alcohol or drug consumption. Officer discretion. While law enforcement retains discretion, minimizing mistakes reduces escalation. After the initial verbal exchange during a traffic stop, officers often decide whether to conduct field sobriety tests. These are designed to assess balance, coordination, and attention. Common tests include walk and turn test, walking heel to toe along a straight line while counting steps. One-leg stand test, balancing on one foot while counting aloud. Horizontal gaze. Nystagmus, tracking involuntary eye movements to detect possible impairment. Official law enforcement manuals confirm that these tests are highly subjective. Even minor nervousness, uneven pavement, or footwear can influence results. This is why the 5-word rights assertion strategy, or simply staying calm and following procedure, is so crucial. It signals cooperation without giving officers unnecessary reasons to escalate. Real-world example. A driver was pulled over in a suburban area for a minor lane violation. The officer noticed slight swerving and asked routine questions. Instead of panicking, the driver remained calm, kept hands visible, and avoided unnecessary explanations. The officer observed steady posture and neutral tone. No field sobriety tests were requested. The stop concluded peacefully with a warning. Court records and traffic stop analyses confirm that calm, legally aware behavior significantly reduces unnecessary escalation. Suspense. Question. Do you think staying composed could prevent almost any traffic stop from escalating, or does the officer's discretion still decide the outcome? Share your opinion in the comments below. Key legal takeaways. Stay calm and composed. Nervousness or defensiveness is often interpreted as impairment. Follow instructions respectfully. Compliance with lawful requests avoids escalation. Hands visible at all times. Sudden or hidden movements increase perceived threat. Avoid volunteering information. Only provide documents or answers legally required. Know your rights. Fourth and Fifth Amendments protect against unreasonable searches and self-incrimination. Respectful assertion of rights is legal and effective. Turning points and controversial moments. Over-explaining minor infractions or giving extra information about alcohol or drugs can unintentionally escalate a stop. Panicking, arguing, or moving suddenly increases officer caution. Calm, respectful responses reduce unnecessary field tests and potential arrest. Final reflection and audience engagement. Traffic stops may feel intimidating, but understanding what not to do can protect you legally and prevent unnecessary escalation. Knowing your rights, staying composed, and following procedure makes a significant difference. Final question to the audience. Given what we've discussed, do you think these strategies could help prevent arrests in most traffic stops, or does officer discretion still play the biggest role? Comment your thoughts below. We want to hear from you. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel for more investigative legal breakdowns. Press the bell icon to never miss an update. Comment below and tell us what topic you want the next video to cover. Your suggestion could be our next deep dive. Remember, staying calm, knowing your rights, and avoiding common mistakes during traffic stops can make all the difference. Stay informed, stay respectful, and protect yourself legally.